He was beautiful, eyes that sparkled with mischief, a smile that could melt the coldest heart. He moved with a natural grace that drew all eyes to him. He knew the effect he had, the way heads turned as he passed, the whispers and stolen glances. He was the envy of every man and the desire of every woman. He was young, barely a man. The world was his oyster. A life of privilege and ease lay before him. He had a loving family, a bright future. He was carefree and happy. He had no idea of the darkness that lurked around the corner. No inkling of the cruel twist fate had in store for him. One day, his life changed forever. He returned home from school, eager to share the day's events with his parents. He threw open the door, expecting the usual warmth and laughter. Instead, he was met with an eerie silence. The house was empty. His parents were gone. He searched frantically, his heart pounding in his chest. He called out for them, his voice echoing in the empty rooms. But there was no answer. Only the deafening silence. A cold dread crept into his heart. Something was terribly wrong. Lost and alone, he found himself drawn to the one person who offered solace. Mr. Mike, his professor. Mr. Mike was a man of quiet intensity, with a sharp mind and a disarming smile. He was everything the young man needed in that moment of despair. Someone to confide in, someone to lean on. But Mr. Mike's intentions were far from noble. He saw the young man's vulnerability, the fear in his eyes, and he saw an opportunity. He offered him shelter, a shoulder to cry on, all the while weaving a web of manipulation around him. He preyed on his loneliness, his desperation, his need for comfort. He offered him a twisted kind of affection, a dangerous substitute for the love he craved. He became trapped, ensnared in Mr. Mike's web of control. His beauty, once a source of pride, became his curse, a tool for Mr. Mike's exploitation. He was pushed into a world he never wanted, a world of darkness and depravity. He became Mr. Mike's boytoy, his every move dictated, his every thought controlled. He was a prisoner in a gilded cage, his spirit slowly being crushed. The years that followed were a blur of shame and self-loathing. He was trapped in a gilded cage, his beauty a commodity to be bought and sold. He hated himself, hated Mr. Mike for what he had turned him into. He felt lost, adrift in a sea of despair. But even in the darkest depths, a flicker of hope remained. One day a chance encounter changed everything. He met a woman, older, wiser, who saw through his facade. She saw the pain in his eyes, the longing for a different life. She listened to his story, her heart breaking for the lost boy he had become. She saw potential in him, a spark of goodness that Mr. Mike had failed to extinguish. She spoke of dignity, of self-respect, of earning a living through honest means. She told him stories of successful businesses built from the ground up, of people who had overcome adversity to achieve their dreams. Her words were like a lifeline, pulling him back from the abyss. He clung to them, desperate for a way out of his personal hell. For the first time in years, he felt a flicker of hope. He could be more than just a pretty face, more than just Mr. Mike's plaything. He could build a life for himself, a life filled with purpose and meaning. He just needed a chance.